All right, Aries, I'm Empress Rose, and let's get this party started. This is your general reading for the week, and so take what works, leave what doesn't. I'm sure you know how general readings work. So there'll probably be a couple storylines floating through here, and you'll either catch one of those or you won't. So if you don't, check your moon, rising, and Venus signs also. So all the cards are pre-shuffled and prepared. Let's see here. I set this up a little weird. I'm not sure that's an improvement, but all right, we're going to start with the Oracle of Mystical Moments deck to get an intuitive vibe of where we're going today. Aries. All right. Okay. All right. This deck is like very talkative this round. I love it. Holy moly. Okay. These cards are very popular. There's like 4 of them that just keep repeating in this round. It's interesting. So we have stranded. So you're kind of in a sticky situation. You pulled up anchor, you went on a trip, you thought you knew what you were doing, and now holy fuck, you really don't. How do you get out of here? Do you call for help? Who do you call for help? You're stuck in some kind of situation. You're stranded. Yeah, how did you get up in that tree? I mean, you can't even see where you're at. It's just foggy. And you're a little bit crestfallen. This isn't quite what you wanted. You wanted to set sail. You wanted the wind to take you away off to some new adventure. And instead of some new adventure, you are stuck. And then we have tiny triumphs. So my reading of this card is that intellect takes a back seat. You've got this apex species bird, the smartest of all the birds, the raven here with his little top hat on, very fancy. And then you've got this little field mouse that suddenly, you know, this scared little field mouse is suddenly like, ta-da, and big, bold, see me, look at me, and I'm big. I could be the predator now if I wanted to be. So you've got a role reversal going on. So either someone in the situation who's usually meek, mild, and the quiet one is now big and bold and making an entrance, or this is your intuition and this is your intellect. And you normally, under most circumstances, we have our intellect driving the car because it can keep track of schedules, plan things out, figure out a lot of stuff. But I think this situation, your intellect's not going to get you out of here. It's got to be your intuition. Your intuition's going to have to come in big, bold, and powerful. And also, one thing I love about this intuition here is that the intuition is wearing the Joker, the court gesture outfit, sort of. So this is the person that can speak truth to power without getting into trouble, without getting their head chopped off. That's literally their job, as long as they're doing it funny, as long as they're bringing a sense of humor to the whole thing. So this could be also about bringing a sense of humor to a difficult situation. So maybe in this situation, you need to bring in some humor here. You're entitled to speak some truth to power as long as you do it lightly and humorously, and the tables get turned. I think that's how you get out of this situation. I think that's what this is saying, is you need to get in touch with your intuition and also take a lighter approach. So tiny triumphs. And also, I think you're going to get out of this situation piece by piece, tiny steps, tiny triumphs. So this is a triumph of the thing that's tiny, and also small moments where we get to see the world on its head a little bit, and roles reversed. So if you're stuck, you got your intuitions here to make some jokes and get you unstuck. Okay, and then I have this new deck, this Moonology deck, and I've done a little work with it. I'm still a little unclear on some of the messages and how it fits in with my overall thing. And what's kind of funny is I was trying to shorten these because they get a little long, and so I added another deck. So that's always going to shorten things. So here I don't even know, like they don't jump out. So I don't even know, I'm not even sure how this wants to be dealt with, how this deck wants to be dealt with. Okay, we did have one jump out. So I guess we'll just keep trying and trying different things and see what happens. So, oh, you got South Node. Don't let your past hold you back. Okay, so however you got to this stranded situation, whatever decisions you made, don't, you know, I'm getting the, you know, when you invest in something and you start losing money, what is that? The sunk cost fallacy or something like that. Like when you, you've already spent, you know, 10 years in this marriage, and so you're going to keep working and trying to make it work kind of vibe, or you've already invested $10,000 in this company and it's clearly tanking, but you already have so much invested in it that you don't want to walk away now. But that's just illogical thinking, actually. You know, you've lost your investment. Why are you losing more? So I think that might be a little bit of like, you made some decisions that got you here. You're not even sure what they are. And you're listening to your intuition, and this is saying like, don't let whatever track you went on, whatever mind path you went on that got you stuck, don't let that. You're not stuck doing the same old thing over and over and over again. Okay, just because it's okay to break the pattern that got you there. Okay, so now we're going to move to the Santa Muerte Tarot deck. And I've already shuffled these very thoroughly. Just doing a little last minute. Past, present, inner landscape, at issue, your environment, your to-do list, and your possible outcome. All right, Aries, what are we doing here? Okay. Oh, lovely. The card I don't understand. That's great. We'll get there, though. Let's see. And we've got a nice little spread here. All right. In your recent past, I mean, as far as like, we don't have anything that's like it's not like all cups. It's not all pentacles. There's not like a clear theme that just jumps out right now, but there will be. Okay. 10 of Swords here in your recent past. You changed your mind in how you think about something, which is, I think, what we're seeing right here. You were thinking a certain way. It got you here. And now you need to change your thinking and get out of that. Oh, that's what it is. It's like this Einstein quote about, you know, we can't get out of, we can't use the same thinking to get out of a situation as what got us into the situation. So we have to change how we see things, how we're thinking about things in order to solve the problem. So you can't solve a problem with the same thinking that created the problem. So that's what I'm seeing here with this 10 of Swords. You can't solve a problem with the same thinking that created the problem. So you're going to have to change your mind on how you view something, how you speak of something. And in this deck, I feel that my belief is that tarot spirit knows what deck I'm using. So, and it knows how to get the message to you. So in the Rider-Waite deck, there's a little bit of a different meaning to this card. But this is still a 10, so 10 is always going to be the completion of a cycle. So you recently completed a cycle, you were able to, and you transformed how you thought and how you spoke about a certain thing in your life. And this painful situation transformed into something more useful to you, into something that you could see. So this stranded might be in your past. Or this is a process that's still ongoing right now, although it's showing up in your past. But 10 of Swords, you have transformed these painful these painful swords are now in the ground as markers of where things died. It's like a graveyard of swords instead of actually being in your back and harming you. And you were able to change the way you thought about something and transform your thinking. So in your present situation, you have the High Priestess. So you have a message here, you have a key, you're trying to figure out how to talk about something and how to open up something, possibly how to get out of this situation. You're consulting a lot of different sources. You're not having a lot of clarity. You're sort of in the dark here. There's this crescent moon here. not a full moon, and it's the crescent moon, and it's also a scythe. So, there's some harvesting here. You're harvesting knowledge, but it's very in the dark, and you're not supposed to know what it's not supposed to be obvious how to get out of this situation, is what the tarot is saying. Like, sometimes the High Priestess card to me comes off as tarot saying, like, I actually don't want you to know. There's actually something that you're not supposed to know right now. And even though but I do want you to continue trying to find it out, but I'm not going to hand you this answer. So that's a little bit about what the High Priestess vibe is for me from tarot, because we're looking to tarot for an answer, and we're wanting clarity. And this is saying it's not clear, and it's not going to be clear, and it's not supposed to be clear, but you still need to be going on this journey. So you're looking for messages. You're looking how to unlock something, and this key to unlock this stuck situation here, or this awkward situation. So you're consulting several different sources. You're looking to plants, to keys, to harvest, yeah. So you're involved in some sort of spiritual work right now, and you're supposed to be involved in spiritual work right now. And if the universe wanted to hand you the answers, you wouldn't be involved in the spiritual work. So there's something else here in this work that you're doing in this. There's something else here for you. It's not being handed to you in bright daylight. This isn't the Sun card. So it's supposed to be dark enough that you have to actually go searching for it. And there's something in that search. That's where you're at right now. In your inner landscape, you have a fresh new beginning. So you're starting you're having this emotional sort of epiphany, or these brand new emotions. It's a kind of a deluge. It's a little bit stormy. Inside of you, you're having this intense emotions. And this might be driving you to seek answers with this High Priestess, but it's a very emotional thing. It could be love coming in, or it could be just feeling an upwelling of love, of perhaps even unconditional love for life, because I'm not seeing a strong relationship vibe here. I'm seeing more, it could be a relationship. Of course, these are general readings, so they can be relationship, career, whatever aspect of your life. But I'm seeing just like a fullness of emotion, an overwhelming emotion, starting within you. And I think this might be one of these keys to unlocking this situation, is this deep love for all of life and all of creation that's starting to come in, although it does look a little stormy here. So it's a little intense. You've got frogs for great leaps forward. You've got a praying mantis for a spiritual connection. You've got the dragonfly for self-reflection. And so this is a gorgeous, I love a good storm myself. So it's this deluge of an emotional new beginning. And so you're very emotional inside. You may not be showing it much outside. And this could be this thing. These emotions maybe are a little bit bigger. Your intellect isn't driving so hard, isn't in the front seat so much, but you're having this emergence of emotions, and it's here to tell you some truths. So, and at issue is the Wheel of Fortune. And we take this one in the reversals, as a reversal. So you're having a bit of bad luck, or you're kind of stuck in a bad luck situation, which is exactly what you have right here. Like, maybe you didn't even do anything wrong to get into the situation. It just kind of happened onto you. And you don't know how you got here. It was just kind of some weird, mysterious thing. And so you're having a bit of bad luck right now. So the promise of this card is that luck is always changing. I always think of this as the merry-go-round card. I mean, there's definitely rotation, yin-yang here. And on a merry-go-round, we've got somebody's pony is always up and somebody's pony is always down. So you're going to be, if your pony's down, just be happy for the people whose ponies is up. And if your pony is up, you can enjoy that completely, and then also be totally okay with other people, understand that other people's ponies are down. So as we go around and around every year in life, our ponies go up and down in a seemingly random fashion. So your pony may be down right now. So your luck is a little low right now, but the promise of this card is that time always passes, time always moves it forward. There's always going to be rotation through luck. And some people with a lot of one type of luck have very bad other types of luck. So right now you're feeling very unlucky, and I don't frickin' blame you. Look at that. All right, in your environment, you have the Devil. I think you got this recently. The Devil is about... So to me, this Devil card, and I think this deck really supports this interpretation, is like the wands. It's this inspiration. It's a little bit of a wands energy. It's a supernatural wands energy. So it's this inspiration that pulls you. It's the thing that says, like, I don't know what possessed me to do that. There's something that's pulling you. There's an intuition. So in your environment is pulling you to do something. Your environment is controlling the situation. So here you have this, and here you have this. So normally I'd say this is like some sort of inspiration, some sort of divine contract, but this is probably a contract in your environment that you cannot get out of. And it's this thing. You're here, and in your environment you have a contract. You have something that's sort of pulling your strings. So I guess I'm not seeing the wands interpretation in this position, in this reading right now, so much because it is in your environment. So it's something very, something real, it's something in your environment, is something that's sort of controlling the situation, and you cannot get out of it. So it could be some sort of addiction, or it could be a contract. It could be just one of those bonds that's hard to impossible to break. And I think with this card of things not being in your luck, I think this is something that's not that great in your environment, that sort of has more control than you do, for sure. So in your to-do list is this Four of Pentacles. So this is the card in this deck that I really don't understand in any way. In the other decks, it's very clear. It's almost a basic card, a very boring basic card of clinging to things. But here we have... So we have this bride, which I usually read as a very innocent vibe. The sort of the virgin that, you know, she's dressed in all white. And this deck is very, you know, uses traditional coloring cues. So she's dressed in white, and she's playing with sort of this doll house. But are they real people? Because she's got a lot of control, and she's kind of playing with money and playing with a doll house. So your to-do list here is to, I think, get control over your finances, over your money, over something. It's Pentacles, and it's a 4. So we're dealing with like starting to get into the real work of bringing something about. So it is like control. It does have to do with control, and in this card it has to do with play. So I think it's like a playing control of your money, of your situation. I think you need to play. Yeah. I think that's what I'm getting here. There's a play thing that needs to happen. You need to play with your environment, play with your money, play with your situation, your home, something physical, your job. You need to bring a spirit of play to the control aspect. You're entitled to control these little beings. You're entitled to control your money. You're entitled to control certain things in your environment. This is saying somebody else has control. And I think this is saying you can have some amount of control, but it needs to be playful. You need to bring a playful measure to it. Actually, this makes perfect sense right here. We have this external control, this contract, and then we have you regaining some control here, but it needs to be done with play, and that's very clear here. And I think that this Ten of Swords is talking about needing to the completion of the intellectual cycle of where you're at, and needing to now engage in a more playful cycle, in a more spiritual, playful, emotional cycle, because the 10 can be an outlived its usefulness. So the intellectual approach here may have outlived its usefulness. It got you here. And so I think there is something out here that's controlling you and creating a difficult situation for you. And I think this is asking you to, you will gain some amount of control through play. So she's really playing with her dolls in her dollhouse. So this is sort of thinking about how you want to arrange things, being really playful as you approach the situation that you're stuck in. And then we have a possible outcome is this Four of Swords. So this is one thing that we're looking at, is it might be time to rest and plan. So get playful here. You know, play with your little dollhouse and your dolls and your money, and it's yours, and bring a playful attitude towards it. And then what we're looking at here is rest. This is a call to rest. This is preparations for an inevitable future. It's a little morbid in this deck, but it is the Santa Muerte Tarot deck, so we can expect morbid, and we love morbid. So, at least I do. And so we have just one candle. So we have some exhaustion. You're probably going to be facing some exhaustion. This is exhausting. So I think this is talking about resting, and in that rest, the purpose of the rest is to come back stronger, clearer. I don't know if you've ever had a problem and then you take a nap and you come up and you're like, oh, this problem is so much not a problem. And once you can deal with things well rested, so I think this is saying that you do need to take a break and take some rest. And then resting is preparation. You know, we say rest up for tomorrow. I have a big day tomorrow. I need to rest up. So resting is a preparation. And sometimes even if we're awake, we're resting. So this is saying definitely rest, because things are coming. You are going to get out of this stranded thing, this stuck thing. I mean, it's hard to imagine you're not going to get out of that tree eventually, with some humor and with some rest. So rest up. That's not your to-do list. Your to-do list is to get playful, and then your outcome is that you're going to get some much needed rest. And then that'll set you up for your next cycle, your next adventure. But so get playful, and then you're going to find your rest. And you'll find yourself much more able to prepare and for your future, for your next steps. So, all right. So looks like you got some changes coming up in how you're thinking about a situation and dealing with a situation, bringing more humor into it, and then resting up for the next bit. So Aries, I hope that this reading was helpful for you, and thank you so much for liking, subscribing, and watching and commenting. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do again, or please do. And then yeah, I just really appreciate the helping my channel find more people that can find these messages useful. So thank you.